Hello, my dears. It's LaShanda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, bringing that fire for my fellow Webby entrepreneurs out there looking to get crystal clear about how to reach their money, marketing, and sales goals. So, good morning. Hi, good morning to you. I'm going to do a quick content creation challenge for my fellow entrepreneurs looking to get clear about their marketing efforts. Okay, so we're going to talk about magnetic marketing today. It's all about springing into action, and if I can motivate you to jump and spring into action, do what you need to do with respect to your marketing, I think I've done a good job. Hey, great rising to you, Anissa. Good morning. So like I said, we're going to spring into action, and I'm going to talk about content marketing. Now, if you struggle with trying to figure out how to come up with content, what you should say to be more consistent, I'm going to share a really simple, quick hack that I challenge you to do today. Okay? Now, I want you to think about three things, okay? When it comes to your business, three simple things. Number one, something that is money related that you did very recently. And when I say recent, I want to say maybe in the last 3 to 5 days, right? So something that you did, something that you're doing, and something that you're about to do. Okay, so those three things, either something you did, something you're doing, something you're about to do. Because your content really isn't in just the things that you come up with in your mind, but it's in the things that you're doing on a regular basis. And you can turn those actions into sales if you do it strategically. Okay, so let me do that. I'm going to talk to you about those three things, the things that you did, you're doing, and you're about to do, and give you some examples because I'm a visual girl. All right. So first and foremost, make sure that you just kind of drop in the comment box and say, hey, let me know who's here and what you're up to this morning. Good morning, Carol. Good morning. And number two, of course, if you're watching the replays, don't forget to drop into the comment box, #replaysrock. Last but not least, if you know somebody in your circle who needs help with content marketing and sales, feel free to tag them, or you can feel free to share this because, of course, sharing is caring. All right. So 1, 2, 3, that's number one. Let's dig into the meat and potatoes of the marketing strategies I want to share with you today. So okay. So I want to say, I think it was either Friday or Saturday, sometime last week, I did a session for the lovely Quanisha Smith. I hosted a mastermind for her group, and I talked about profit pages. Now, after I did that mastermind, literally, I figured that my computer's right in front of me. Why not jump on Facebook Live? So I jumped on Facebook Live and I said, okay, here are 4 marketing things that you need to be trying right now. One of which was working with other people. And I said, okay, this is what I was doing. I would just finish this mastermind. You definitely want to work with more people if you want to gain exposure, right? In the process of that, funny enough, I had one of the ladies in my circle say, oh my gosh, LaShanda, I really want to have you on my podcast, so let's do that. And we did that on Sunday. And then after that, I had another lady say to me, okay, well, LaShanda, I want to do a Facebook Live with you, and we're going to do that on Friday, right? Now, one of the things I love to say is that media creates media, right? So when you're in a space, when you say to people, this is what I did, they go, oh my gosh, I want you to do something similar for me, okay? Now, that's one of the things I want you to think about. I want you to think about for yourself, when was the last time? Think about what you're doing right now in your business, okay? When was the last time you shouted yourself out and you said, hey guys, this is what I did, right? That's number one. And feel free, you guys that are here or that you're watching the replay, the last time you gave people kind of like an update as to what you were doing, when was that? Feel free to drop that into the comment box, okay? That's number one. What did you do? And like I mentioned, in me saying to people, I was just on that mastermind, people came to me and said, okay, I want you to be on my podcast. I want you to do a Facebook Live with me. Media creates media. So you need to think about, when it comes to you strategically creating content and selling online, how often are you telling people what you're up to, okay? And funny enough, I did a web class, I want to say on Sunday. I feel like it was Sunday. And one of the things I talked about was my magnetic marketing strategies. I talked about the CH factor, 3 C's, H's that you should consider. One of them was checking in. Right? Checking in. So I want you to think about that, because when I often check in and just let people know what I'm up to, it's the easiest no-brainer way for you to come on and have content. You have something to say, okay? Just tell people what you're up to, okay? So for those of you who are looking to be more consistent with your marketing, for those of you who want to do some content marketing today, but you don't know what to say, tell people about something you recently did. All right, boom, check in. Media creates media. Check in. Thank you for dropping those into the comment box, Anissa. I appreciate you. Bright and early in this morning supporting me on this Facebook Live. Mwah. All right, so let's keep it moving. Now, the first thing I said when it comes to content marketing is I want you to think about something that you did. Hey, Dawn. Good morning, my dear. Good morning. Good morning. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to think about what you're doing. I want you to think about what you are doing right. Well, not in this moment, but there are times when you're trying to think about, well, what should I be marketing? And the easiest thing to market is what you're doing right now. The easiest content you can create around is what you're doing in that moment, right? I call those marketing moments. The moment that you're doing something, then you can turn that thing into a marketing moment is a great moment to have. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of that, okay? So yesterday, I actually took an hour so I could work on one of my clients' websites. We had to update a few things on her website, and it was updated, so I was able to go in there and put up her pop-up box and add a subscribe form to her box. You know, she's recently transitioned to ConvertKit per my recommendation, so we've been updating things, and then a few weeks ago, we put up her new freebie opt-in, 3 chapters of her book. So yesterday, I was continuing that and working on that for her. Now, here's what's interesting about in that moment, okay? So in that moment, I could have jumped on Facebook. I could have done a tweet. I could have took a screenshot of her website and said, okay, hey, I'm currently working on this website and I'm adding this and I'm adding that. If you need help, make sure that you go to sistersense.com/GMD. That's my Get More Done package so that I can work with you. So she grabbed her 10-hour Get More Done package. What about you? Do you want 12 hours? No. Which one did she get? I think she got the 12-hour. Do you want 6 hours, 12 hours to work with me, right? So this is what I'm doing for a client, and I can do that for you. Go here, okay? That's an example. So I want you to think about how you can take either something that you did, because that was number one, or something that you're currently doing, and in that moment, turn it into a marketing moment. Okay, I'm going to give you a few more examples of that one in a second here. The GMD was one of them. Oh, no. These are coming up because I haven't done these yet. Okay. So number one, think about what you did. Number two, think about what you're currently doing. And then number three, think about what you are about to do. Now, as I share these with you, I challenge you today to do some sort of marketing online with one of any of these. Okay. Now, before I move forward, I'm going to ask you guys, do you struggle with creating content? Do you struggle with trying to figure out something to say to your audience to sell your stuff today? Anybody do that? Because I can teach marketing strategies, but one of the things I realized is sometimes it's not even the marketing strategy. People don't know what to say. You know, it's like, I know that I should be on Facebook. I know that I should be on live stream. I know that I should be blogging, but I don't know what to say, right? So this is why I think that this strategy to me is one of my favorites, because you don't have to think about what to say. Just tell them what you're doing. That's it, right? So let's brainstorm this right now, because I'm going to share with you what I'm about to do today, like some of my daily activities for today. And in the process of me doing that, I want you to brainstorm what you're doing today, and feel free to drop that into the comment box. Nervous too. I hear you, Tiffany. Sometimes you don't know what to say. You get nervous too. But when you just are talking about, you know, like, oh, I'm about to go eat lunch. I'm about to hang out with a friend. I'm about to go to an event. I mean, it becomes more casual because you're not trying to market. You're not trying to pitch. You're just talking to people. And I think that's one of the things. I love that, Tiffany, that you said nervous, because a lot of times folks will get hung up on marketing, feeling like they're not qualified, they're not experienced, they don't want to say it the wrong way. There's no wrong way to say what you're doing, unless you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. Unless you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, there's no wrong way to tell people what you're doing. It comes out naturally, right? You want marketing to feel natural. You want sales to feel natural. Talk more about those things, okay? So let's do this. Let's brainstorm together. Drop into the comment box, and I'm going to give you examples of what I'm doing. I'm going to check out and see what you guys are doing so we can do this together. All right? Real talk. So what are some things that you're going to do? Whether it be something that you're going to do today or something you're going to do this week or something you're going to do this month. Okay? But it's coming up in the future. Today, this week, this month. What are a couple of those things? Okay? I love that I see my girl Dawn here. Dawn McCoy. She says, just jump. Oh my gosh. So Dawn, I love that you're here because this is a great example of what I'm going to be doing. Okay. So today's Wednesdays, and on Wednesdays, I have my clarity calls. So today, one of the lovely ladies I'm going to be talking to as part of our clarity session is Dawn, right? I didn't forget. You're not my first session for today. I think you're my best for last. I think you're the last session that I do today. Here's what's great about that, right? Being able to say, and I love that you're here because it's like real-time example. Being able to say, I do my clarity calls on Wednesdays. I'm getting ready for several of them. My last one is with the amazing Dawn McCoy of Flourish Leadership Groups. And if you want to check in with me, if you want some clarity, if you've got some questions, feel free to go to callme.sistasense.com. Right? That's quick content. I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm also letting you know that if you would like to schedule a session with me, all you have to do is go to callme.sistasense.com. It is an opportunity for you to sell without selling. One of the things that I do also is I'm telling you what I'm doing, but sometimes I do web classes and I do trainings where I tell you what I did. Meaning I'll say, okay, yesterday I had several web classes, and not several web classes, I had several clarity calls. And sometimes what's interesting about energy and life is that there'll be a synergy between those conversations. And it may be that I have 3 or 4 calls and a topic just keeps coming up in that call. And that compels me to do a live stream and say, hey, quite a few ladies I spoke to yesterday, this was something they were struggling with. So I decided to have a web class so I can share some of the recommendations I shared with you. And if you want to talk to me one-on-one, you can go here. Who here, just out of curiosity, for those of you here who are live, if you're a coach, if you're a mentor, if you're a consultant, drop one of those words into the comment box for me or something of that sort. If you're that kind of person, coach, consultant, here's the deal with that. You want people to work with you. Again, remember earlier on I said media creates media. I also believe that consulting creates consulting. How does that work? Consulting creates consulting. Coming on here, doing live web classes, consulting in some way, shape, or form, or coaching in some way, shape, or form, in the sense that I'm giving you stuff that I do with my coaching clients, then I get new clients coming to me and scheduling calls with me. Consulting creates consulting in that sense, right? So you need to think about, if you are in a space where you are a mentor. Good morning, my dear. Good morning. Good morning. Anissa says, ooh, I try to check in and follow up with people per day on other products and services. I'm a Reiki master and an energy wellness coach. Okay, wonderful. So Anissa, what I want you to do is I want you to think about either who you're going to be working with next or who you previously worked with recently, right? And what are some of those pieces that you can pull out and tell people, right? This is what I'm about to do, because that's going to help you with content creation. Hey, Bernadette. Hello. Good morning, my dear. Listen, y'all who are jumping on here this morning, feel free to share this out or tag somebody who needs to hear it. Right now, I'm giving you guys some quick content creation and sales strategies. It's all about springing into action. So make sure that if you would like to do this challenge, here are a couple of things you need to consider, okay? For those of you just jumping on, I'm going to do a quick recap. If you don't know what to say, if you don't know what kind of content to create to show up for your audience today, I want you to think about one of the following. what you recently did in your business, what you are currently doing in your business, or what you're about to do. Because what you can do is just jump on and share that. One of the following: what you did, what you're doing, what you're about to do. Hey, Bernadette, good morning. Good morning. I am a mental health and emotional coach. All right, awesome. So right now I'm asking people, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're a mentor, specifically what kind of consulting do you do? Feel free to drop that into the comment box. The easiest thing that you can do is you can tell people what you're about to do. So I said, okay, I love that my girl Dawn McCoy is here today. She's one of my clients and mentees. We're going to have a clarity call today. And I said, listen, I'm about to have a clarity call with Dawn today. If you would like to have a clarity call with me, feel free to go to callme.sistasense.com. You see how easy that is? Doesn't feel sleazy. Doesn't feel like I'm pushing you to sell. What's the word I'm looking for? Pushing you to buy from me. It's just a soft sell. That's a subtle, soft sell, okay? Do you guys know what soft sells are? Just drop a yes or a no in the comment box. Do you guys know what soft sells are? Okay? Just the way it sounds, it's not hard. It's not like you going, hey, go and buy my clarity sessions today. It's not like an aggressive sale, It's just subtle. And I'm actually going to be teaching the subtleties of sales inside of my Spring into Action experience. I don't know if you guys have registered yet, but Spring into Action is happening in 3 forms. There's a 2-day virtual, a 3-hour virtual, and a 3-day here in North Carolina. All the details for that are over at sistasense.com/spring. All right? Because it's all about springing into action. So soft sales are really important, right? One of the things that I'm going to be doing today is responding to voice messages. So I always tell you guys that I love the SpeakPipe platform, SpeakPipe. I love it. Kind of like when people go to concerts and they geek out, like their favorite person is on stage and they're like, ah! Like I geek out on apps and plugins because I'm that kind of person. I love SpeakPipe, right? So yesterday I responded to a couple of voice messages, woke up this morning, and I have a few more to respond to. So I am going to go onto SpeakPipe and respond and follow up to a couple of clients after I do this live stream with you guys. Now, here's a couple of things to keep in mind. If you've got a question for me, if you want to check in with me, if you need some help, you can go to sistasense.com/nothing. Just go to SistaSense. Go to SistaSense and you'll see the little voice message tab. Send me a voice message. Send me your questions. Tell me what you're concerned about, what you're trying to work on, and I can help you. All right, bam. See, that's another example. That's another example. I said to you, one of the things I want you to do is think about what you're about to do. You can turn that action into a marketing moment. You see how I did that there? I said one of the things I'm about to do after I finish this live stream with you is I'm about to go onto my SpeakPipe platform and follow up with voice messages. If you have any questions and you want to work with me, just go to sistasense.com, go to the SistaSense, click the gray tab on the right, and send me a voice message. Some of you want consulting, but you're not telling people who you're consulting with. Some of you want more questions, you want more engagement, you want more people to interact with you, but you're not telling people, hey, go here and do this to interact with me. And you got to do that on a regular basis. It's funny because this Monday, the beginning of the week, I started my Jump Challenge. Jump for 30 days. I'm sharing my marketing strategies. Every single thing that I do in marketing, I'm sharing. Getting into Jump was a 24-hour flash opportunity and it expired, so you can't get into Jump if you didn't get in. But it's for the next 30 days, the people who are in Jump, everything that I do strategically online, I'm sharing with them, right? And in between that, I jump on web classes like this one to talk to you guys, right? One of the things that I talk about with respect to Jump is being in a space where you show up. Because if you want people to jump up and take your offers, you have to show up on a regular basis. But some of you are not showing up, and it's not because you don't know the marketing strategies, right? You know you should blog, you know you should tweet, you know you should be on live streams, you know you should go out and market, or some of you are looking to do like advertising with Facebook ads or Instagram. You know you should do these things, you just don't know what to say. You don't know what to create, which is why I'm doing this session. So I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to keep saying it until it triggers or it hits or it resonates with you. If you don't know what to say today, I challenge you to share one of the following with your audience. Either tell them what's something that you did, Tell them what you're doing right now. Tell them what you're about to do. Simple. Okay, so for those of you who are here and you're listening to me right now, come up with, because I'm giving you guys examples, come up with one of those examples for yourself of something that you can say to your audience and say, hey, this is what I did, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm about to do. By the way, if you would like to work with me, ... information. Come up with it and drop it into the comment box, because after I am finished here, I'll check them out and read them. Okay, Bernadette says, right now I'm getting ready for my webinar for moms of newly diagnosed autistic children. Wonderful. Wow, Bernadette, that's amazing. And here's the thing. I just love to know what you guys are doing, because you guys do some freaking amazing things. I want you to be able to be in your space where, you know, for your community, you say, listen, this is what I'm about to do right now. Maybe you are in the same space where you might find that this is something that could be helpful to you. Or if you know somebody, who's going through this right now and has children, newly born children who are autistic, right? Newly diagnosed, my apologies. Newly diagnosed children who are autistic. If you feel like this is something that they could use, let them know. Share this with them. Tag them in it, right? And that's something that I talk about as well when it comes to magnetic marketing. When I jump on here and I share with you guys, I say, listen, sharing is caring. If you feel like somebody in your circle needs help with marketing and sales, tag them. Hello, I'm not just telling you that. I'm literally telling you to tag them right now. Tag them right now. Or share out this session, right? That is you working on your exposure and your new growth, right? You're reaching new people, or even checking in with people. I mean, you could hardcore market every single day. And then after the fact, you're going to have 15 people come up to you and say, how did I not know you were doing that webinar? I can't believe I missed that webinar. Ah, darn. Has anybody ever experienced that? You market the hell out of what it is that you're trying to do. And you're like, man, okay, I'm sick of working me. I'm done. It's over. And then after the fact, you got all these folks coming out the woodwork like, I can't believe I didn't know that you... It happens all the time. So make sure that when it comes to your content marketing, one of the things that you do is you strategically let people know what's coming up next. Cynthia White is here. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Okay, so let me tell you how great this is. I love that you're here, Cynthia. Cynthia is one of the first clarity calls that I have this morning. So I get to kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, I think, Cynthia, I had to respond to your email because I think you emailed me last night and said, hey, is our session 30 minutes or an hour? It's whatever you want it to be, boo. 30 minutes or an hour. I don't know if I probably have to resend you the webinar details because I think we're doing a webinar today. If you want to do 60 minutes, Cynthia, we can definitely do that. So I get to kill two birds with one stone. But it works because, like I said, I do quite a few. Wednesdays is the day that I do clarity calls, so it's just like, just kind of, I don't do them any other day because that allows me to have balance. You know, if I did clarity calls every day, my schedule would be crazy. Jess did a color makeover on Tina, and I need a new color. Call us. Wait, something... Is that like autocorrect? Because I'm missing something. I'm missing something in what you just said, Carol. But I did get the first part. You just did a color makeover on Tina, right? So, you know, that's an opportunity for you to do a couple of things. Show what you did for her, or you can say, man, you know, looking back at the last quarter, here are some of my best makeover sessions. If you want one from me, you know, definitely make sure that you schedule yours coming up. My schedule is getting busy, ... right? So that's something that you can consider as well. One of the things that I am doing right now is, hold on, I talked about the messages, the clarity calls, things that I am doing. The webinar, as it's funny because I'm like, what am I about to do? What am I about to do, right? So continue this. For those of you jumping on here, the challenge right now is a couple of things, but the first thing that I want you to think about is what's something that you're about to do in your business. Feel free to drop the thing that you're about to do into the comment box if you haven't already done so. And it's not just one thing, right? I'm sure you're about to do several things, because I said to you, think about what you're about to do today, what you're about to do this week, and what you're about to do this month. You could drop multiple things into the comment box. This is an activity for you because some of you don't know what to say, you don't know what content to create, and it doesn't have to be that hard. Some of you guys are overthinking, and it does not have to be that hard, okay? This is a really quick content creation challenge. So, one of the things I'm doing is this Saturday, I'm hosting the virtual Spring into Action Intensive. It's going to be 3 hours. It's going to be all the way live and lit. If you ain't in it, you need to register. Go to sistasense.com/spring. You see how I did that? You see how I did that? So you can tell people this is what's coming up for me. My virtual webinar is coming up. If you on Saturday want to get strategic, you want to get intentional, we're going to do 3 sessions over the course of 3+ hours. I'm going to talk to you, number 1, about how to magnify your money and make more money online. Number 2, I'm going to talk to you about magnetic marketing. So if you think what I'm sharing with you here is solid solutions, we're really going to dig into magnetic marketing strategies on Saturday. And number 3, how to supercharge your sales, smart things that you can do to sell, sell, sell. Things that don't feel painful or time consuming or sleazy. All that good stuff we're going to talk about inside of the Spring into Action 3-hour virtual, and you can learn more about it at sistasense.com/spring. So this is how you connect content marketing and sales. Some of you struggle with knowing what to say. Some of you struggle with comparing your content with what you're selling, your offers, your marketing with your sales. Anybody struggle with that? And you can let me know. Who here, and drop a 1 in the comment box so I can see it. Who here, when you do make content, you don't know how to sell your stuff with the content? Like there's a disconnect. And you could drop a 1 because a lot of people I know, they struggle with that. They go, God, it's so hard for me to figure out what to come up with. I try to come up with stuff that's entertaining or educational, informational for my audience, but I make this stuff and I never do it in a way that actually sells anything. So I've got all this stuff, I got this content that sits here, but the content isn't necessarily connected to my offers, right? So one of the reasons why I said to you guys, I see some 1s dropping in there. One of the reasons, and feel free guys, if you're watching the replay, to interact with me as well, because I do get the alerts on my phone and I do go back and interact with you. So it's not just a live thing. It's an all the way live thing, even via the replays, right? One of the things that you need to consider is that your sales, how do I say that? Your new sales are connected to your old sales, okay? I've hired a new assistant. She starts today. She should talk about that. Should I talk about that also? I will relaunch my virtual branded style makeover sessions this month. All right, awesome. So you want to give people examples of what you've done previously with your branded style makeover sessions as far as marketing is concerned. I saw a question. I've hired a new assistant. She starts today. Should I talk about that also? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you drop in the comment box and clarify? Because I missed it and I don't want to do random scrolls because then I screw up my screen when I start trying to scroll and all that other stuff. So just drop in the comment box what you were trying to say there. Let me explain what I was trying to say as well. The easiest way to connect the social content that you're creating to the products and services that you're selling is to think about the customers that you have, the people who are already buying your stuff. Have more conversations around your customers, whether you're teaching around what you're teaching your customers or you're talking about the things that your customers are buying. That's going to help you. That's why I said to you the D's, those 3 D's, what you did, what you're doing, what you're about to do. It's just that simple. Those things connected to what you're doing with clients. Now, some of you, and I'm going to put this on as a caveat. Some of you can try to stretch this out and say clients, referring to people who you are working with, but not necessarily paying you. I'm going to let you stretch it that way. Just for those of you who don't necessarily, because some of you guys are in the beginning stages and you're working with people, but they aren't necessarily paying you yet. I'm going to let you stretch it that way. But if you do, make sure that you're going to send those people to not, get free consulting from me. You're going to send them to a page where they actually have to buy something from you. Okay. You don't want more freebie consulting clients. You want people actually going to buy from you. Okay. You can mention what the assistant will be doing to help you in the business and then make a soft offer. I can't wrap my brain around that. I feel like I'm missing pieces and I don't want to say the wrong thing. Was it Carol? Was it Anissa? I don't know who had the question about the assistant. Email me the full story and so I can respond correctly. And then I might even do a web class on it depending upon how I respond. So email sistersense@gmail.com. For those of you who are here, if you do have questions outside of what I'm able to answer now, because I'm about to drop off in about 5 to 10 minutes, you can email sistersense@gmail.com. Or when you go to the sistersense.com website, click the gray tab on the right and send me a voice message, all right? Any questions that you have about money, marketing, sales, what you're trying to do with your business right now, if the struggle is real. If you have a question about spring into action, because my webinar is coming up this Saturday and I don't want you to miss it. You can watch the replays, but you can go to sistersense.com/spring to learn more about that. We're kicking off spring into action with the the 3-hour webinar is Saturday. That's followed by the 3-day weekend here in North Carolina. I'm doing a workshop in Greenville. And then the next week after that is the 2-day virtual. Guys can still register for any and all of those over at sistersense.com/spring. If you're in Greenville, if you want to fly into Greenville, you in Virginia, you in South Carolina, you in Atlanta, you want to come out and work with me, that's what I'm going to be doing in a couple of weeks. So those are a couple of things that I am working on. All right. Okay, good. Everything that you're doing is paid. Good morning, Levon. Good morning. Good morning. I had to just say that because some ladies are in a space where they're just starting out. And some people will say, oh, my client. And these are people who they're working with, but they're not paying them. And I want y'all to get some paid clients. So, yeah, you can shout out and talk about people who you're working with, whether or not they're paying you, but you want to make sure that when you connect the sale, it's connected to something that you actually people can buy. Okay. And here's the thing. One of the questions that I got, I was, teaching for someone's mastermind last week. And one of the questions that I got was around, should I put my prices up or not? Some of you guys struggle with that. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not studying competition. I don't really have time for a lot of intake forms. So, if somebody wants something, I can easily say, go here and sign up and buy it. I could have said, okay, I'm doing a spring into action training, do an intake form, and then I call you and we go through that whole process. And some people do that. Or some people have really high-end prices and they're like, I don't want to scare people away. There are a lot of reasons why people don't put their prices up there. I do. Why? So that it makes it easier for me to combine my content marketing and sales. I can simply say, go to sistersense.com/spring. You can see the pricing, you can sign up, and it's for me, it's that 3 a.m. marketing, because literally 3 a.m. in the morning, people can go and see and buy, and I don't have to go through a longer process. Now, if you have a virtual assistant or something else, and you really have a process as to how you do that, and you don't want to put your pricing up there, you don't have to, right? But I personally do. Okay, that's a side note, but I just kind of wanted to say that because that is a question that I get asked a lot. So again, guys, if you do have questions about money marketing and sales, you could just drop them in here. I'll come back and take a look at this. But more importantly, the more direct way is to either email me, sistersense@gmail.com. That's number one. Or number two, go to sistersense.com. And when you're on the sistersense.com website, click the gray tab on the right and send me a voice message. Okay? So, alrighty, that's it. I'm done. I've had so much fun with you guys today. I want you guys to do the challenge. Let me know, guys, if you are going to do this content marketing challenge today, what are you going to talk about? Are you going to talk about something you do? What? Something you did? So just drop either did, doing, or about to do. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay? Are you going to talk about something that you did, something that you are doing today, or something that you're about to do. Okay, that is the challenge, and I'm just curious to see if you guys are going to do it, and if you are going to do it, what you're going to talk about. You could do a Facebook Live like I'm doing right now. You could do a live stream. Bernadette is going to talk about what she's about to do. Awesome. I mean, you could send out a message to your email list and say, hey, just not sure if you know this, but this is what's coming up. Hey, just letting you know, right? You can go on LinkedIn if you work with a lot of career professionals and check in and say, hey, this is what is coming up. Pictures work really, 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 really well because we're just kind of scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, right? So, you know, if you put a nice, big, pretty picture up of what you're about to do, or even something random, because to be honest with you, sometimes those some marketers, and this is like a simple thing, some marketers use random, completely unrelated photos just to grab your attention. You look at that and then you read and you go, oh. I don't know if you've ever experienced that before. Anybody ever experienced that? You could say yes if you have. You know, you're scrolling through and you see something absolutely random, and then somebody's like, okay, well, here, go and get this book. And you're like, what? But they do that to stop you and get your attention, right? Cynthia says she's going to talk about what she's about to do. Awesome. So I am, Cynthia, I'm going to remember to check in with you, send you the details so that we can have our one-on-one webinar today. You are the first clarity session that I have, but it's still really early in the morning. So we've got a couple of hours before we dig in and check in together. So alrighty, my dears, take the challenge. If you're not a part of Spring Into Action, you need to be. Again, I've got the webinar coming up on Saturday, the 3-day here in Greenville. We're going to have so much fun because I want to make sure that I can teach you guys, number one, my 300K money map, and number two, walk you through the MMA method. MMA is all about money making activities, and I want to make sure that you can create content that you can use across multiple platforms and take that content not just as promotional material, but stuff that you can sell too, because it's about the content marketing and it's about the sales. Both of them combined. All right. So, all right, my dears, that's it. I'll try and I'll try and see if I can check back in here a little bit later on today. But if not, I will do my best to do a few of these web classes because, hey, it's about springing into action. Till next time, take care. Mwah.